and welcome to Crunch Time. My name is Jack Bogdan.
My name is still Alex Grinling.
And this is our review of Robokill. So that was a trailer for Robokill. Here is some footage from Robokill.
So I don't know anything about this. You're the one that's been playing this a great deal.
In secret.
Judging from the footage there, what is this? Is this like a dual stick shooter? How does this play?
Yes. So this is a straight up classic dual stick shooter. You're a robot, you have 4 arms. Each of your arms can take a weapon, and then you have 4 zones for buffs. So buffs like, I want a shield on my front, so whenever somebody shoots me from the front, I don't take as much damage. Or I get extra health every time I kill an enemy. Or I get extra shield every time I kill an enemy. Or I have a higher ability to find rarer items. That sort of thing.
Okay. Does it have like a story mode that goes along with it? Like how
there is a very thin story to this game. At the beginning of every level, I guess I should say, every section, there are 12 missions, and in each mission is a sort of grid system of boxes. So not this grid system of boxes. This is your inventory. But in the trailer. Sorry?
That's a big inventory.
So on the right is actually the store. On the left is what you currently have in your inventory. When you drag stuff from the left to the right, you sell them and you get money. And when you drag stuff from the right to the left, you buy it and you lose money.
Gotcha.
Certain weapons you need to be a certain level to equip, that sort of thing. But you had asked me a question about mission structure and everything like that. So missions, 12 missions, and in each mission, there are like over 400 levels, like if you want to call it that, I guess, which is each grid or room of bad guys. And so you need to kill certain rooms of bad guys in order to get to your end goal for that mission. Whether it be disarming some sort of power system or killing some big robot or a group of robots that are all over the map, meaning you have to traverse through the box system, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of gameplay. Luckily, this game is a joy to play on the iPhone. So it's really basic. There's 2 virtual sticks. You see them on the screen right here. You move with the left stick, you shoot with the right stick. Depending on what weapons you've equipped, which is right there, he just actually got a weapon in that box. Depending on what weapons you equip, you can shoot through walls, you can shoot through multiple enemies, you can shoot faster, you can so there are lasers, there are pulse guns, there's light shredders, there's a bunch of really cool weapons. So here's this is really the entire game. If you get it, the doors lock behind you, there's a spawner in the room, or there's a really powerful robot in the room, or there are just a bunch of robots in the room, and you've got to kill them all so that you can get to the next room. Incredibly basic. But this game is awesome. It's
so
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I keep going. Yep.
Oh well, like looking at this map here, it looks like there are like 2 branching paths off to the right and left.
Yes.
That don't go to the goal. Are those just there to find more loot?
Yes.
Is that the incentive to? So how have you found? Because I know some games. I think that this was kind of a problem in Borderlands, where after a while you stop finding weaponry that's any better than the stuff that you have. So there's less of an incentive to keep seeking that stuff out.
You will always find, if you won't always find better weapons, you'll always find money, which will allow you to buy better stuff. Okay. I feel like there was never a point in the game, and by the way, I've been playing this for weeks because it is huge, and there's a lot of gameplay, and there's a lot of weapons. So yeah, I mean, so you'll start off and you'll get a light machine gun. And then you'll find a medium machine gun. And then you'll be leveled up enough to use the heavy machine gun, right? Or maybe you want to spend money on a rare heavy machine gun, which lets you shoot 20% faster. Something like that. So within each class of weapons, there is the level up within that where you have to be a certain level to even use the weapon. And then there is the bonus that you get for the weapon being that good.
So leveling up, does that just bring about more health or
more health? Your health is actually, I should say, a shield.
Okay.
I guess you kind of have both. It's the health is
Halo.
Yeah. And so your shield, you can get buffs that regen your shield after you kill a room of enemies.
Okay.
And that sort of thing. Or you can get a buff that regens your shield as you kill enemies. So that it's two different buffs you can get. So I mean what he just picked up there. So like there's the basic gameplay. There are rooms you have to get through them to get to the end goal. To get to the end room. So for example, actually you brought up the idea or the fact that there were two branching paths. Well, perhaps to get to the end goal, there is a door that requires a key. The key could be in one of the two branching paths, which means you have to go explore.
Okay.
So it could either be a loot drop, like a massive loot drop at the end of the hallway, or it could be two branching paths. Now you're seeing he's clearing these rooms very quickly, which is how it plays out. But with 400 of them, there is a lot to play.
Right.
You see that glowing thing on the floor? Just jumping back into this, I was going to mention. So that glowing thing on the floor in the middle, the square that's glowing is actually a checkpoint. So each of those rooms with a checkpoint, you can jump back into the massive grid of squares which he was just on, and jump to that checkpoint without having to walk all the way there.
Oh, that's nice.
Right?
Oh, there we go. There's a level up thing.
Exactly. So your shield and your damage get upgraded, and then you have more access to new weapons.
Gotcha.
As it goes on, the game gets increasingly more difficult with enemies that are very smart and very fast and start having better weapons, the same weapons that you do. So they're they start catching up with you. There are flying enemies. If you can fall off the edge. So the way they handle death is actually incredibly interesting in this game, where it finds you. So let's say if you died and the last checkpoint was 2 rooms away, let's say it finds you $1,000, which is not a whole lot, but it is somewhat significant. And then you also lose progress. So what happens is, let's say you die, you'll have to replay those 2 rooms with enemies still inside them. Whereas if you don't die and you go to a checkpoint and there's like a room buffer before the room you want to get to, like all those rooms that are clear, there will be no enemies in them because you already killed them. But if you die, depending on where you died on the map, it will clear out 2 rooms, or the amount of rooms that you progress from the last checkpoint. Depending on, there are certain circumstances that make it different. So like if you die 1 room later, you might not lose a room, but if you die 3 rooms later, you might lose 2 rooms, and you might have to go back and kind of work your way back up to where you were. So that's kind of how they introduce a little bit of a challenge, and you kind of have to watch yourself to make sure that you're, going exactly where you want to. That was a teleportation, by the way, right there.
Right.
And that's actually the end of the footage that I've got. So I can put that. There's really not much more to say, so I guess I'll just take it off. Robokill's awesome. It's 99 cents on the App Store. It's really basic, but man, the graphics are gorgeous. It's got Game Center support, tons of achievements. There's actually also a survivor mode I didn't really touch on, but it is, imagine a constant new room constantly until you die, pretty much. Okay. With weapon upgrades at the end. It's cool. So yeah, that's Robokill. It's like a no-brainer purchase on the App Store. It's really, really, really polished, and it's incredibly fun, so I highly suggest it.
Nice.
Cool. So that was our review of Robokill. If you want to find more of the show, you can do so at crunchtimeshow.com, and we'll talk to you soon.